Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCraft.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I live and work in Scotland. And today I'm filming card 8 of our magical meadow class in the post. So I really appreciate all you ladies buying the class, both physically and my ladies around the world who've bought the PDF. I do appreciate you all for supporting my wee business, and I hope that you learn something along the way or be inspired, even though it's things you've done before. Sometimes we get kind of stuck in a rut. And I know that quite a few people have bought this class simply because they did the same as me. They thought that paper was really pretty and the stamp set was really pretty and they bought it, and then it's like, really not sure what I'm going to do with this. So I just pulled it all out of my table one day. I did a lot of die cutting, and then I just set to with a quarter pack of the DSP to see what I could make with it and if that would be helpful to everybody. I've tried to keep most of it simple. I mean, you could have got into lots of things. You could have been inking up the DSP, using your blending brushes. I've just tried to keep it as simple as I can so that, you know, most people can take part, but you're still coming away with one or two wow cards, I think, anyway. So this is basically a square card, a 14.5 centimetre square card, which is close to somewhere about 5 to 5.5 inches square card. And I looked at this paper, and I know a lot of people just cut it down and made 3 panels with half of the card. So that is, you know, half of your designer series paper. Now I was away to start cutting this. As you see, I actually did start cutting. I thought, whoa, wait a minute. It won't be obvious to everybody how you've done this. So this part here is just a wee hinged panel that comes down. So the gap there between these two deer, so nobody wants to cut off, nobody wants to just have the butt of our deer in their picture. So I realised that, well, you can't have both of these in the picture. But if you cut quite close to this one's antlers there and like trim that bit off and then come over, you're looking for a 14 centimetre square or whatever in inches. I mean, you'll have slightly different. So what you need to know the measurements of the paper that you need. So for this one, we will be cutting a square, which is 14 centimetres by 14 centimetres, and I think that's where I cut this. Yeah, I cut the paper to the height of 14 centimetres and I had cut this bit just off just a bit beyond this deer. Now this needs to be, again, you refer to your PDF. Have I got this here? Well, if this is, there you go, I've cut this. So that's 5.5 centimetres that way. So I need a piece that is a 5 centimetres wide. And I want the whole of the deer on it. So where's my trimmer? Who stole my trimmer? So this strip that I've cut off just beyond the back end of that deer, I need to cut to 5. So as you can see, the whole deer is going to be in this strip. Okay, so that deer's not been hurt. The strip that's going to go onto is 2 centimetres longer. So it's 16.5 centimetres. So I want to score 2. Now sometimes I like to use this part where you've got the measurement going out past 1.5 inches, 3.5 centimetres, and just score that there. And that's your hinge to put that onto the base card. And that's basically what's happening there. And then, like I say, we want this to be a 14 centimetre screw. But what I'm going to do is trim what I can without damaging this deer. Just double check on your picture. Right, so I don't really want to cut his antlers off as such, but I want to skim past the edge of them, which I've done there, look. And then turn that around and cut it at 14. You are going to cut off a little bit of this one's rump. Well, a bit more than his rump, but... So you might want to cut more of these antlers or just... So you've got a panel for another card with the end of a deer on. But then, you know, you've got the other side. Use that for something. So then this is going to come over the top, and then on the front of your card you have 3 deer. 3 deer. Right. And really, that's, you're sticking it together after that. You've got 2 of these die cuts from, what did I tell you, that's called Something Fancy dies. But, you know, if you don't have those dies, then you do something else for your sentiment. And I did some stamping in there, so I need some grey ink. I'll just get basic grey, do you know what, because that's within my reach. I may have used something else. Might have used in the background there some grey granite. But no, I still have. This is more or less done what I did on the last card, and I haven't cleaned the Night of Navy off, so we'll clean that off. Again, you change up the sentiments. I'm a bit restricted now with my sentiments. I'll clean that one. That's not the one we're going to use, but we'll clean it because that's good practice, isn't it? Right, where's the stamp set? I've used the bigger one, the bigger tree. I mean, that sentiment, but it doesn't fit on the die I've cut for it, so... So this one is 1, 2, 3, okay? Ink it up, especially when you're using exactly the same colour. 1, 2, 3. So obviously it's bigger, the die's bigger than that, but it just gives it texture in the background. I hope I did that in the sight of the camera, but if I haven't, I apologise now. And then Winter Wishes. Yep, it worked. There you go. And really, once you've got your cutting done and that little bit of stamping... Oh no, we were going to do some stamping on my inside panel. Now, on this one I've used 3 of the, you know, 3... Why not this time? Let's use the bigger one. I could use the little one, or just to show you, you know, the difference. Or you could use your foliage. You just decorate however you want to. I'm doing first impression here. 1. So just a little bit of each. 2. 3. There you go. See, just the tops of the trees showing there. Close your ink. And then it really, let's just construct this card. Okay, so where's, oh there it is, right. So this is going to be glued on the top here. Because I'm not putting anything in there, you could have brought it over the top, but I thought, well, it'll be hidden by this DSP and by its own fold, so I'm basically just going to put the hinge on the middle here. So I want to put glue there. Again, you can use tape. I'm just a glue girl. Now you can measure carefully and make sure it's in the middle. That's not me. I tend to just eyeball things. Now we've got a bit of glue that we prefer not to have there, and no cloth. Might want it just to slide it a bit along there, and then just slide it up, make sure it's at the top, so that then your card, it just swings out when your card's open, but you know, as long as you're okay with that. Have a look at this that's going in there. You know, is it still going to be between, do you want it, move it further? You decide, you know, if you want to move it further before you stick that down. I'm going to be happy with that. And I'm just going to glue this and stick it on. Drinking my coffee. I went and got coffee. Oh, that's good. And then I'm going to pop this in with this DSP on here, and that'll hide all that glue that's a bit surplus to requirements. Make sure you do this in the right direction. So you've got your wee border of grey all around. I do love the look of this. Like, I'd love to see I've watercoloured that myself, but that would be... And there you go, you've got your 3 deer. I'll come back in a minute and show you that I used Wink of Stella on the deer, and that just gave them a bit of a lift. And then this goes on the inside. And then our winter wishes, or whatever sentiment, you know, you don't need to use the sentiments in the set. Use whatever sentiments you want. Whoops. See? That's the wrong side, isn't it? You know with your die cuts what the right side and the wrong side is. Because on the top side it's more rounded. As it happens, I'm going to glue that so that it's going to sit there when the card's closed. So again, you could use dimensionals, but I just think you might want to pop this in the post, so why make it more expensive by adding too many layers? But don't add that much to the look of the card. You might just want that to be straight, so just line it up with your eye there. And that's your card, basically. And if you know where your Wink of Stella is, then just take your Wink of Stella and make your deer sparkle. Just take your time and Wow, this has been a bumper class right enough. I wouldn't be doing one with 9 cards in it anytime soon. We'll do it another time, but 4 or 5 is enough for a class, really. But hey, now and again you just get inspired, and I couldn't work out how to split it in 2 classes, so I just thought I'll just give you it all. So there you go. Card number 8 with Sparkly Deer. And it's such a pretty piece of paper. You really don't want to add too much to it, do you? But you can go in, you could sparkle up the deer if you, the trees if you want to. You could add stars, you know. What have we got left here? Oh, we have got these greyish ones. And just pop that there. And keep it simple. So there you have card number 8. So thank you so much for coming along, for buying the class, for supporting me, everything. Take care, and I'll see you on the finale on card 9.